So there's some things I'd like to discuss that I'm seeing here on Bitcoin. Before I get started, nothing I say is financial advice. Do not take financial advice on anything you hear. Why does this keep crashing at Z Trades? My website's crashing for some reason. I don't know why. Make sure you come up to the terms and conditions page when the page isn't crashing, which is, I've never seen this happen before, but I've done this like 10 times where I keep starting the video, but I'm just going to roll with it. There it goes again. Anyways, let's see what we got going on here with Bitcoins. We're going to go ahead and this is just bugging me right here. Let's go ahead and get going here. A little sloppy start today. I'm sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, so we had an inverted head and shoulders. I'm so distracted with everything that's just coming at me right now. We had an inverted head and shoulders, left shoulder starting in January. The head was late January. Early February was the right shoulder. I remember adding right over in here. I was seeing this. I was like, you know, when I had the candlesticks up, I'm on a line chart because you can see patterns better with line. Candles, it's very hard. It's like, where's Waldo? You know, it's not easy to identify the patterns sometimes. Sometimes it is. I was like, this is a bull flag. And I added, and I'm like, pump the brakes. When I was looking on a line chart on Robinhood, I was like, that's an inverted head and shoulders, and we got a bull flag. This thing's going, right? We were in the 40s, which was great at the time. 40s were fantastic, right? You know, if we had just gotten up to 42, we'd all be happy. If it crashed down there, we'd think it was the end of the world. You know, it's all perspective. This is a head and shoulders. This thing's coming down. Now, just because there's an inverted head and shoulders, just because there's a head and shoulders, doesn't mean that the pattern is going to play out. It's not guaranteed, right? But being a trader and someone who can identify it, you can be, 60 to 90% sure based on the conditions, what's causing it, the fundamentals behind it, as well as, we just had a massive bull run from 42 to 74, 73, basically 74 on Bitcoin futures. That's almost double. It didn't even pull back at all. We had this is the weakest point we had where it just quit going up and created a bull flag. That's how strong it was. It wanted to go down and it couldn't. So it ended up running flat, made a bull flag, and took off again. Ridiculous. This is dangerous right here. So on some of my challenge accounts, I'm liquidating. I'm out. My main accounts, I'm just going to buy more. I don't want to keep jumping around, and taking big tax hits and dealing with the taxes at the end of the year and all that. I still see it going a lot higher. I do not seeing with the supply crunch that we have right now, it not going higher than that when the halving hasn't even happened. Now, there's been halvings before where it ran up into the halving, right? Last halving, it wasn't like that because we had something catastrophic happen. It wrecked everything. And the halving was happening like in the middle of it. COVID happened in March of 2020, right? And unfortunately, I can't go back on the data here. Let me go to a monthly chart. Yes, I can. I'm wrong. I can go back to late 2018, right? So we had that dip prior, and then it ran flat and took off into, let's see, April. It was May. It was in May right over in here. We took off, and it kind of took off a little bit and pulled back and then just went parabolic into fall and winter. And that's what I'm expecting this time around. I still expect it to be a little bit different. This is what I'm trying to get at here. We had a headache over here. There was bad things that happened that pinned this thing down, right? But we started cutting interest rates, and there was a halving. It takes a while for the halving to kick in because it causes the selling's cut in half. The miners make up most of the selling, around $1 billion, when they only have half as much to sell because they're only rewarded half per block they solve. right? So that's when technical analysis starts to not make sense. It's kind of like trying to chart after the halving. We're not at the halving yet, so it can make sense. But it's like kind of it's like charting, you know, VXX. Okay, it's at support. Is it going to bounce? Right? And it's kind of like, in a sense, an inverse Bitcoin, because in a way, so VIX is connected to futures contracts. It isn't futures contracts, but it's connected to futures contracts. Futures contracts rot like an options contract. So it looks like you're looking at an options contract, right? I don't know why people buy equity in this thing or calls on this thing. If you're in calls, it's got to be like 2 days, you know? So that's like trying to chart a support here. Well, something's pulling it down. The rot is gonna punch right through it. You would have to have something that would adjust that, right? Just like trying to chart a top on Bitcoin during a halving. That's not going to make any sense to me. There's a supply issue, right? So it's kind of like the opposite problem of VIX in a sense, right? Let's pull up /VX. Right, that's a little bit better. Anyways, this looks like trash. Let's get back over to Bitcoin. I'm all over the place today. I don't know why the open interest pops up here. Get out of here. All right, so thank goodness I was buying, guys. If you look in the chat, I started buying Ethereum and I started buying Bitcoin in April over in here. Now, I thought we might see 16K again. I didn't know. You can't see the future. Now, when you look back at it, you're like, why didn't I just put, buy like 5, Of course you're going to say that. Of course. I was dollar cost averaging. I should have been dollar cost averaging right on even earlier. But I should have bought a couple Bitcoin, like 3 or 4, threw 100 grand in when this thing was around 25K, So, you pull your initial investment of 100K out and you still have, 100K in, and then you don't have any risk. It's fantastic. But yeah, wanted to do this video. I set us up for line charts and inverted head and shoulders, and we exploded. And now we have a head and shoulders. Maybe we could come down here, right? Maybe. Now, I don't have all my other indicators up, so I'm not going to be able to chart everything. I don't have my fibs and all that. But, if we had volume profile on, in fact, let's just see if I can put that on real quick. This is the crappiest version of it I've ever seen in my life. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oof. Using this on a different platform, TradingView or TrendSpider would be better. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying right there. We have somewhat of a volume shelf. Now everybody's charting and they're like, it's going to go to this fit. No, it's not. It's not. They've got it. Okay, we can retrace down here to 28 and then, 38 and then possibly 45. I don't think so. We could. And that would be a fantastic opportunity. And you watch. Everyone will be like, oh, it's going to go to the next one. Back to 25. And then they wouldn't buy. And then they'd be the, is it too late people? Hey, is it too late? Hey, is it too late? Hey, is it too late? And they ask me, and it's like, yeah. Yep, you missed it. You should feel like crap, and you should be angry. Okay? Try again in 2027, a year before the next halving. Right after that, there's only going to be one bit. By 2034, there's only going to be one Bitcoin left to mine. That Bitcoin's going to take around 100 years. So this is the Bitcoin gold rush right now. But I was so angry with COVID. COVID threw me off, right? I was like, crypto, I don't know. I'm looking at, I watched Bitcoin go from 20 grand. I watched it to, there was a wick that popped down. Everyone says the bottom was, 3,800. No, it was 3,200. I watched it happen live. And I'm an idiot for not buying. You do the opposite of your emotions. But COVID happened. We didn't know what was going to happen. I'm focused on equities, right? And I'm like, crypto, whatever. I was looking at it at the halving, and I'm like, is this, is it really going to react? And then it took off. Now, I was buying Ethereum. I had Ethereum to auto invest on Coinbase to put money in every week, and I uninstalled it. My dollar cost average was below 500 on that. I think it was like 290 because I bought a bunch when it was in the 100s, set it up for auto invest, and then just deleted the app. And but anyways, no, I don't think we're gonna see 38 over here. No, I don't think we're gonna see this. That's not a thing when there's BlackRock can't find any more Bitcoin to buy, and then there's about to be a halving, and there's gonna be less dumped. And we're just getting started with these Bitcoin ETFs. We haven't had, like a lot of the institutions, like let's say Saudi Aramco, allocate a portion of their holding, their fiat, converting that into Bitcoin. We haven't had Japan, right, try to save their pension funds with Bitcoin, right? We haven't had California do that. I don't know why. These pension fund managers, they've been holding AT&T, for like 15 years. And you're like, what? They announced they were cutting a dividend, so it's going to get cut in half. Not only the dividend, but the price. And they just hold it. It's insane. I'm like, what are you doing? They're getting cooked on Latin America real estate. What are you doing? It could be really easy. So, and then you have states like Texas. They put their their state pensions in gold, and guess what? Gold beat the S&P over the last 15 years, 20 years. So, if not matching it, now I think it's matching it, but they're about to cut interest rates. Gold's going to go nuts. So, these pension fund managers, you're not going to find any good ones. They can't. They cannot. They're incapable of hiring good pension fund managers. I'm getting off topic here. This is going to be another video. But when all that stuff starts happening and they start allocating, some of the pension funds into Bitcoin to save them, and countries trying to save their currency, El Salvador is an example. They're the only country that's had their currency go up, right? Last year and this year. So I think it was this year. I got to reread the data. I'm paraphrasing here now. I'm going way off topic. Anyways, to sum this video up, that's going to be another video to talk about the future of what's about to happen in Bitcoin. There's about to be a tidal wave of money over the next couple years here. But inverted head and shoulders, what happened? Okay? Head and shoulders, like clear as freaking day. When this thing breaks 63-ish, it should be bad. Right? For me, IBIT. I'm going to be buying more. BITX, maybe. Maybe I'll allocate a little bit into BITX. It's a leveraged Bitcoin fund. I don't like that it rots. Right? The leveraged funds have rot on them. But hey, I'm coming back down here, 52-ish. That would be great. Maybe 50 to 52-ish. Wonderful. We have a massive, ignore the price over here. Look at the volume shelf. This area, it's not to the cent. 45 to 44-ish, I really doubt that. This volume shelf, yes, 52. Hopefully I'm wrong. And everyone's like, haha, idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. We did go to 45. I'd be like, I am an idiot. Fantastic. Let me buy a dump truck of this stuff, right? So we had this giant volume gap with this giant leg right here. So if we teeter into this, we could just free fall there. So again, challenge accounts, my BITF, I'm taking profits today, out. And yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully, by the way, last thing to look for, a failed head and shoulders is very bullish. So if this thing takes off and then we're just going to go parabolic. That is a very bullish. No one talks about that. Talk about inverted head and shoulders. What about failed head and shoulders and failed inverted head and shoulders? Extremely bearish, extremely bullish. If you like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.